Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. In this video, we're going to be talking about high-end makeup and the top 10 products that I truly feel are worth the money. For some reason this week I must have really felt like giving myself a challenge because that last video I was coming up with like, what brand does it best? And here I thought, let's narrow it down. Top 10 products that I really think are worth it. And you guys know I love a lot of drugstore makeup, so given the fact that I'm so familiar with so much from the drugstore, it really makes it apparent to me if there is a high-end thing that is truly worth it, because in a lot of cases I feel like drugstore is doing so much so well. There are a lot of ways that you can cut corners, and I talk all the time about drugstore stuff that I love, but what about the high-end stuff that's really worth it? And I'm going to be going in my top 10 just in order of application, not in order of preference. And you'll see a little demo so you can watch all these different things going on. The first thing that's worth it, really worth it for me as a normal to dry skin person, is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I use this all the time. I actually just got in the super size of this and it's so big. It's like a little trophy or something. But this is such a nice rich cream to prep your skin with, and I feel like it lets me kind of wear whatever makeup look I want to do on top. You know, if that's powder foundation, if it's a fully matte full coverage look, if it's a lighter look. This stuff I just feel like gets my skin to a place where it can respond well to whatever I want to put on top of it. So it's a nice thick moisturizer, you know, it's very, very rich and creamy. It blends into the skin and you're immediately glowing, I feel like. And the scent of it has like this light kind of citrusy scent that always makes me feel good to use it in the morning. This is definitely a morning product for me, and they call it face base because it really is like priming your skin. It's getting your skin up to that great texture that you want it to have before your makeup goes on. So I use this every single day and I really, really love it. And if you saw my morning skincare video, you heard me kind of raving on these products already, but number 2 is my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Eye Rescue. I'm not a huge fan of all things Charlotte Tilbury at all times, but this eye cream is my absolute favorite. It's so rich, it's creamy, it's the perfect way to get your eyes prepped before any kind of concealer goes on top. You know, you want that area to be rich and hydrated, so then if you want to go full coverage, if you want to layer up a couple things, you can kind of do it because you've got all this nice rich moisture underneath. And I've been using this for so long. This is a pretty big container, I feel like. How much is in there? 0.5 fluid ounces? But it is by far my favorite eye cream, and it's just what I use to start my day. And of course you're going to go on top of those steps and apply a little bit of a sunscreen, but those definitely, like, those are really important parts of my makeup routine. And if I had to find drugstore products to like take over for those, I think I could, but I'm not sure I'd like them as well. My number 3 high-end product that I really think is worth it is actually the Beauty Blender. Like a Beauty Blender sponge, there's something different about it compared to all other sponges. I'm not saying I can't use a Real Techniques sponge or an e.l.f. sponge or whatever and make my makeup blend out and look good. It can, but there's something about the texture of this sponge. If you look really close at one of these, you can see like the holes in it a little bit more, and it's not maybe just quite as complete squishy soft as a Real Techniques sponge, and I feel like it just adds that little bit of resistance as you're applying, and I feel like it blends things in on another level. And I've never felt like it was really sucking up a bunch of product either, and it's just nice to have the point on one end and the little, you know, rounded ball on the other end. It is a simple design, but I really like it that way because I can get just about as precise as I want to be around my eyes and then use the other end. I've used the Beauty Blender minis before too. Gosh, that brought back a memory for me. I need to play with those again. I really like those for a time, but I do think the Beauty Blender is worth it. I think it's different from every other sponge, and also it's even different. To get the pink one, it can be different from some other special edition sponges that the Beauty Blender brand will put out itself. You know, they will put out some other colors and other options that don't turn out to be just like the classics, so that's the one you want in my opinion. Oh, I have to mention now it's called Smashbox and Becca because Becca is no more, but Smashbox adopted this item. This is the Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I wear it in Fair Light. There are other shade options, but this is by far the most brightening thing that you can put on your under eye area. But it's not just about what it does for the color of your skin, but also it's super moisturizing. So if you want to put this on and then layer a skin tone concealer on top, you totally can. This does not make your skin look dry or crusty in the least, but it's brightening on another level. And I remember remember when this product was first launched by Becca like years ago, and I always talk about how I was pretty sure there was shimmer in this and it made me not like it, and then time has passed and there's no more shimmer in this. It's just really, really brightening and creamy. So I just take some and I dab it on the innermost corner of my eyes, and then sometimes I'll place some on the outer part of the eye as well. It kind of gives more of a lift, and you can blend that in with your beauty blender, a brush, your fingers, whatever works. And after blending that in, I did go in with just a regular concealer. I used this Wet n Wild Incognito, and I just dabbed a little right in here, blended it all in, and it's like, wow, that really, I've gone a few days and not used this, and I can tell a difference, my friends. I really can. So I think that's totally worth it. And then I think you can pair that with other lower cost concealers and be really pleased with your look. Number 5 is the M Cosmetics So Soft sticks. These sticks for contour and blush, yeah, I kind of snuck in 2 products in one here, but these sticks are just such an incredible texture. There's actually, I've talked like there's 2 shades of the contour. There's actually 4. There's 2 that are very, very dark that would not be suited to my skin tone, but as far as what would be, I think of there being 2 options. The shade called Terra, which is my fave. Terra is the real contour looking stick, and then the other one is called Summer, I think. Yeah, the other one is called Summer, and that one behaves more like a bronzer. But these sticks, the more I use them, the more I love them. They are by far the best cream texture to be working with on your skin in terms of bronzers and blushes. They are incredible. You just swipe them on. They look so pigmented and full color, but you do not have to work hard to blend them whatsoever. It's just the most beautiful texture you can get with a stick. Cream contour, cream bronzer, cream blush, absolutely beautiful stuff. And it really has an impact too. You know, I think they're pigmented and they're beautiful. And then today I also use the Venetian Rose shade of the So Soft blush. And this is really, really pretty. They have some pretty lighter shades and deeper shades in their So Soft blushes, and I pretty much love them all. But if you were just jumping in and not really sure where to go, I feel like Venetian Rose would be a really good pick because it's rosy, it's soft, it's not too light, not too dark. But I just had the easiest and best time blending that in, and I think this range, if you're not tapped into these yet, you need to check them out. Another thing that I feel is totally worth it, and you notice a trend here, the reason why these things are worth it is because they're unique. It's not like the world is just floating around with tons of dupes and tons of lower cost options of these particular things I'm talking about. And the next one is really rare, a rare gem in this world, and it's a Laura Geller Baked Highlight. And I really love Baked French Vanilla, but I have this duo in French Poodle and French Almond, and French Poodle is like Baked French Vanilla up a notch. I'm wearing that as my highlight today, and look at the natural glow, okay? It looks so natural, but it really does kind of pop on top of the cheeks. Special thing about it is you can't see a single fleck of shimmer in that, so it's still kind of a subtle type of highlight, but it's super brightening. So if you've ever felt self-conscious about pores, about crow's feet or lines up in here, and you're thinking, you know, I like the idea of wearing a highlight, but I just don't want to attract attention to those different things, get a highlight that somehow brightens and glows without any particles of shimmer, and that's what this is. And then this one right next to it is really awesome too. It's just like a little bit softer, a hint deeper. It doesn't turn out quite as brightening on the skin. That's the French Almond. But that I feel like is something really special. It's one of my favorite things Laura Geller makes, and I'm a big fan of different Laura Geller products. What are we to here? Number 7? I am naming my Persona eyeshadow. I had a really hard time when I was thinking about possibly including eyeshadow in this video because I just feel like there are so many non-splurge eyeshadow products that are absolutely amazing. You know, I'm thinking about different things from ColourPop or Wet n Wild or Milani, stuff that I just think is amazing, but yet I really love this Identity 1 palette. The Identity 2 is nice as well, but I'm talking like one of the best everyday eyeshadow palettes. You open this up and you think, really? I'm like, it's so basic, but yet that's kind of the magic in it, you know? It can give you like a beautifully naturally contoured eye with just a couple of shades. If you just went here with it, you would have such a pretty matte contoured look, but the shimmers are so perfect and easy, and they just swipe on with such incredible ease. And then you have this little like wild card down here that could make it a really quite a warm look if you want to, a little bit of plumminess. It's 12 shades, but it's 12 shades of impeccable texture and perfect just everyday eye looks is what I'm saying here. So I've got that on today. What did I first use? I used Charming in my crease. Did I layer up something else with that as well? Mainly this was what I started out with, and I feel like I tossed in a little something extra maybe just to deepen that up a bit. But then I used Fearless. This is a really, really dark brown, and it's very important that this shade is in here because it gives this palette so much range, I think. And I patted that shade on the outer part of my lid and into my crease, blended that a little bit. I decided to go on my lid with this pretty taupe called Seductive. So that's that glow on the inner part of the lid. And then to kind of finish off the look, I used a little bit of Chic, this matte plum, and I just used it with my small, little small pointed brush from Profusion and added that to the crease, because sometimes a shade that's like not the darkest of the dark but still kind of deep helps merge your really dark shade with what was initially in the crease. So anyway, basic look, not too much to it. I popped on a really dramatic lash today just because I hadn't worn lashes in a while and I was just feeling like it. But I'm not sure I could name for you a better everyday basic eyeshadow palette that still can give you some variety. You know, it could still take you more gold, more taupe, more bronze, all matte, matte and shimmer, a little bit warm, more cool. It's so good. It's not a really super new thing, but I was kind of late to the party on this and I absolutely love it. Next up, I've got a couple of things to mention for lashes that I think are completely worth it. This one especially if you have curl challenged lashes. You know, I feel like I was thinking as I was putting on my mascara, like we all have our areas, don't we? Like there would be a person on YouTube who would be really well suited to talk to you about oily skin and, you know, what foundations last the best on oily skin. But my obstacle here in my little corner of YouTube is lashes and keeping them curled. So I've got you on this one. And Estee Lauder Little Black Primer is a really unique product because it helps hold the curl like nothing else. So you take the time to curl your very straight lashes and then you put this on. It won't look like much, like it might define them a little bit more, give them a little more darkness, but it will hold their curl, okay? And then another cool function that this has is actually sealing your lashes and keeping the stuff from flaking off. So you could coat your upper lashes after your whole mascara look is said and done, coat them with this. I've coated my lower lashes and not had smudges. You know, it's a kind of a magical little product. I never want to be without it. I repurchase it all the time. And then I would have to say IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, we're now to number 8. This is greatest for my big lash look. Now obviously I did say I waited and I put some false lashes on today, but this seriously, this hangs with the whole curl look. I wouldn't have to pair Little Black Primer with this because this in itself is a very good curl holding mascara for me. And part of the magic in IT Cosmetics Superhero is that it doesn't take a long time to build up. Anybody who has sparse lashes probably knows that the more time you spend raking, it doesn't necessarily benefit you. It can just make things stick together and eventually you're like, where did this mascara step get me? You know, I'm just left looking like I have a few lashes because everything eventually stuck together. So the beauty in this is a quick build up, a dramatic look on the lashes, and its ability to hold curl. I've gone back within the past couple months and used a lot of the NARS Climax in the red tube, and I like that too. I love the way it makes the lashes look, but it still probably doesn't hold curl as well as this, okay? So IT Cosmetics Superhero, I mean, you will beef it up even more if you put it on top of Little Black Primer, but it is a super special mascara. My tube is getting a little bit old here, but it's still delivered. It still went on really nicely, and that is just a mascara that's totally worth it in my opinion. Now the last spot, I reserved it for a lip product, and I think it's got to be the Buxom Full Force Plumping lipsticks, you guys. Like, this is the most luxurious, best lipstick format for a classic cream lipstick. They're doing them so well. I love their nudes range, but also today I'm wearing one that I'd gotten around the holidays as a mini, and it's called Dolly Dreamer, and this shade is so nice. It's like deep pink mixed with a little berry, and look how it completely like smooths up. It turns your lips into little pillows. It feels cooling. It still feels cooling. I've had this on for probably 25 minutes now. It still feels like refreshing on my lips. I love that. One swipe, like just as you go across, full color. So you're not going, you know, completely pigmented. And if you can track down the shade called Pop Star, that's the perfect dusty rose, by the way. But there's like a thick, luxurious feel to the lipstick They feel so good on the lips. That cooling feel is amazing. And is it actually plumping my lips up? Well, maybe it is a little bit. You know, maybe it is filling in some of those lines and kind of making my lips look fuller. I feel like my lips look real full today, and I'm not wearing a lip liner at all with this. It's just the lipstick, baby, and I love it so much. When I was doing my demo, I turned my camera on, but I didn't have it recording at first, so I had to like wipe it off and start again. But you will not be disappointed if you try one of those lipsticks. I think it is Buxom's best product. I know they're really well known for their glosses, but those lipsticks are incredible. So guys, we made it. That's my top 10 list of high-end products that I feel are worth it. Could I have gone on a little bit longer and maybe named a few other things? Probably, but if I'm really trying to keep it narrowed down, these are all things that I feel like have something super unique about them that is very hard to do. You might find some things that are similar, but for one reason or another, they're not exactly as good as the things I've listed here. And this is all coming from a big time drugstore makeup lover, so there are a lot of things that I think drugstore is doing right, but these things, these 10 things, I really wouldn't want to give these up. So thank you so much for your time today, everyone. Let me know what things would be on your list of high-end products that are worth it in the comments section, because let's face it, this is going to be a little different for everybody. You got a different skin type. Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base probably doesn't mean anything to you. If your lashes are naturally curly, you don't need to worry about little black primer. But let me know in the comments section what things are really of value to you, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. I love you. Bye.